Today we are celebrating Friday, the 31st week in Ordinary Time. It is also a day that is set aside by Jesuits to remember their own dead, all those Jesuits who have passed before us. And I would like to commend to your prayers the soul of Father Jerry Sabo, who passed away in our own community this past week. Our reading today comes from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "A rich man had a steward who was reported to him to have squandered his property. He summoned him and said, 'What is this I hear about you? Prepare a full account of your stewardship, because you can no longer be my steward.' The steward said to himself, 'What shall I do now that my master is taking the position of steward away from me? I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I know what I shall do, so that when I am removed from the stewardship, they may welcome me into their homes.' He called in his master's debtors one by one. To the first he said, 'How much do you owe my master?' He replied, 100 measures of oil. He said to him, 'Here is your promissory note. Sit down and quickly write one for 50. Then to another he said, 'And you, how much do you owe?' He replied, 100 measures of wheat. He said to him, 'Here is your promissory note. Write one for 80. And the master commended that dishonest steward for acting prudently. For the children of this world are more prudent in dealing with their own generation than the children of light.'" My brothers and sisters, the Gospel of the Lord. Our Gospel today probably strikes you, as it struck me, as a bit strange. How is Jesus recommending, in fact, this dishonest steward as a model for Christians in our world? The story is a little odd because it seems as if not only is the steward dishonest, he continues his dishonesty by writing or telling his master's debtors to pay the master less than they really owe them. One way to understand the parable is to recognize that stewards would in fact overcharge their customers, taking a bit of a cut since it was illegal for them to charge interest on the loan. And so this way the steward was pocketing money off of his master's debtors. Why does the Lord commend this steward? The steward, after all, was trying to find friends for the future so that he would be able to find future employment among one of the debtors who he treated so favorably. Jesus commends him because he was prudent. Another word for prudent would be to say that the steward was acting in a way that was considerate of the circumstances and acting wisely. We too in our world are called upon by the Lord to be wise in the ways of the world, not simply to be plaster saints, somehow only doing good things and not getting ourselves involved in the grit and the dirt of the real world. The Lord wants us to be in the middle of things, and of course that's going to cause us to face many, many issues of discernment, making decisions, practical decisions, how to, in some way, bring about the good in the midst of a world which is both good and evil. And so let us pray today for that wisdom, for that discernment, to know how we are to act within our world today, to live out the gospel in a way that will last, a way in which the gospel will touch the hearts of the people that we meet.